Don't fidget. This is not a yoga retreat. If it were, you'd still be doing it wrong. I've been reviewing reports. Your habits. Your personal history. All those little patterns people assume vanish into the void. They don't. And honestly, if moral decay had a smell, this room would need better ventilation. Let me ask you something simple. Are you afraid to talk about your deep, sick desires? No rush. Your discomfort is already very informative. People like you always insist you're just curious, just appreciating the aesthetics, just being ironic. Which is fascinating, because irony seems to disappear the moment no one is watching. Then suddenly, it's not a joke. It's a habit. It's a routine. Something you schedule around. You didn't end up here because you were bold. You ended up here because you were sloppy. Something slipped. A look held too long. A thought you forgot to keep inside your head where it belongs. This is usually the moment people get nervous. Not because they're in trouble, but because they realize they've been accurately assessed. That's the part no one prepares for. Do you know what actually embarrasses people like you? It's not punishment. It's precision. Because when someone describes your inner life accurately, you lose the comforting illusion that it's somehow unique, somehow mysterious. Right now, your mind is doing exactly what I expected. You're cataloging details. My gloves, my boots, my whip. The way I don't rush. And somewhere in that underdeveloped imagination of yours, a little voice goes, "Oh, this is dangerous. This is exciting." Yes, there it is. You probably enjoy being called out for it. You've turned humiliation into intimacy. Correction into chemistry. In your fantasy, you're even convinced yourself that punishment, properly framed, is a gift. Kneeling and licking my boots, or enjoying it if I punished you by twisting your nipples until the pain becomes unbearable. No. That's the part you don't get. Hand still. This is not about what you enjoy. That problem already exists extensively. This is about removing the idea that your enjoyment matters. You see, desire isn't interesting. Everyone has it. What is interesting? How desperately people like you try to wrap it in meaning. You don't want control because it's edgy. You want it because responsibility exhausts you. You don't fantasize about submission because you're deep. You fantasize about it because it gives you an excuse. Puh. And when someone like me appears, structured, unimpressed, inconveniently perceptive, you want to turn that into something consumable. Something you can enjoy without changing, without effort. How unfortunate. Here's how this works. You will confess. Not for my satisfaction, I assure you. That would be very, very low bar. You will confess because secrecy is the only thing keeping your fantasies warm. Say it plainly. No metaphors. No clever framing. No aesthetic language. What do you want when you think no one is watching? Yes, that pause right there. That moment when you realize the thought sounds worse when it's spoken aloud. That's progress. Modest, but detectable. I don't punish people for wanting strange things. I punish people for pretending those things make them special. You crave the moment when someone looks at you and doesn't pretend. Where the rules are solid. Where your fantasies stop floating and hit something firm. Where you don't have to wonder if you're being judged. You are. And yes, you like that. You're not complex. You're not brave. You are common. You want someone else to hold the line so that you can pretend you didn't want to cross it. You want to be denied so you don't have to choose. That's not dangerous. That's lazy. And that realization is usually the most painful part. Notice what is missing, huh? No punishment. No dramatic consequence you can turn into a story later for your memoirs. Just clarity. That tends to linger longer. We won't finish today. Moral hygiene is repetitive. And judging by what I've seen today, you skipped a few cleanings. And don't worry, I'm not disgusted. Disappointment implies expectation.